everybody, welcome back to DysfunctionElle. I'm your host, Giselle. Now, you probably can guess what this episode is going to be about by the title, and if you're on my YouTube, by my shirt. Let me stand up so I can show you the outfit. Ooh, so cute! Certified lover girl right here. Now, like I said, the episode is called Certified Lover Girl because Valentine's Day is coming up, you guys. Well, you guys will be hearing this episode on Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day. Now, let's talk about love. So, I wanted to do this episode because I have a lot to say about love, and I feel like I have a lot of experience with love. Not like, I've never really been in a relationship, but, I think I have some things to say about love that might be interesting. Now, if you are in love, or if you are falling in love, or if you like someone, or hell, if you're heartbroken, just not feeling love, and you're like, I'm never gonna be in love again. I've been there too. Don't worry about it. But we're gonna talk about love and all things that go with it, or at least as much as I can talk, which y'all know can be a lot. So let's hop right in it. Now, you know me. I write everything down in a layout. So I got my notebook with my layout. So if you see me looking down, yes, I wrote down questions to ask myself. Leave me alone, okay? Y'all came here. I'm the only person here, y'all. Anyway, now I have some cliche love questions to start off. Then we're gonna go into the deeper love questions, which will shift into the serious topics about love and all of that. I can't turn page 1 second. Sorry, guys. Then we'll hop into the where am I at now questions with love. And then we're going to end with some fun love questions. But I hope you stick through this entire episode. Happy Valentine's Day again. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me about a time you've been in love. Tell me where you are with love now. You know, are y'all married? Are you engaged? Are you dating someone else? You know, tell me the tea. Anyway. Alright, so let's start off. What does love mean to me? Ooh, yikes. So, I think love can't really be described in one specific way. Let's be so for real. Love is beautiful. Love is chaotic, and it's everything messy and everything nice and sweet. Now, this is just my perspective of love, of course. However, I will say I used to be scared of love. I'm gonna be so real with you, and we'll get into that too further in the episode. I used to be so scared of love because of the people around me. We'll talk about that later. So I just didn't think I was worthy of love. I didn't think that love was a good thing, and if that was what love looked like, I didn't want any part of it. I don't know if that makes too much sense. We'll get into that. But I realized, you know, love is good, and love is so full of passion and beauty. And yes, there are hard times, but it's working through those hard times that gets you back to the good part, to the way things should be. There should definitely be more good than bad. And I think that is something that a lot of people miss is, yes, you can work through the hard times. You can absolutely get through anything with your person as long as you work at it. But make sure that there are more good times than bad. Sometimes there's going to be more bad than good. You're going to go through that rocky. For me, I think it's also about knowing yourself and loving yourself enough to know this is just not healthy for us anymore. And again, we'll go into that. But love for me is one of the best risks I've ever taken. And I will say, I know good love is out there because of how I love. I'm a very deep person. I love with my whole heart, and I love love. That's why this episode exists, because I'm gonna keep saying it. I am a certified lover girl. Now, that does lead me into, do I believe in love at first sight? No. Unfortunately, I am a person that doesn't believe in love at first sight. I believe in attraction or admiration at first sight, right? You see someone across the room, or you bump into each other and you're like, oh, hey. You're like, oh, how are you? My name's Giselle. Or enter name here. But love at first sight, I think for me it's hard to believe because I have to get to know you. I have to understand you and know you as a person. Maybe that's just me. Maybe people have fallen in love at first sight and just known like this is the person I'm gonna marry, this is who I'm gonna be with. And that's great. I love that for you. Unfortunately, I've never looked at someone and been like, oh yes, you're my forever. I've looked at someone and been like, oh, who are you? Let me find out real quick. But yeah, I do believe in soulmates though. I do believe, I do think that people are just meant to be, and it just makes sense. And you know, I think that when it's right, it's right. But I also know that just because you think someone's your soulmate doesn't mean you're theirs. That's just something that I've always felt. Like, you can be like, this person's my soulmate, like I'm meant to be with them, we fit together. But for them it's like, yes but no, like it's just not working out for them. And that's sad, but it happens. I feel also kind of a little bit odd about soulmates, because a lot of my friends are like, oh my god, like it just works and this and that and it just fits. And I get that, but I feel like a lot of love is also going through those hard times and getting through those hard times. You know, I agree that sometimes your soulmate, they just know. They know how you're feeling, they know how you're doing, they know what you're thinking, what you're going to say next before you even say it. But I also know that sometimes you have to teach people how to love you. And sometimes you have to be taught. I said this in my last episode, and that's something I always will say. So yes, I do believe that soulmates exist. I also believe in platonic soulmates, you know, friends that just make sense and that just fit and go together. But that's also something that you have to work at. So yeah. Now, soulmates, I do believe exist. But do I believe in right person, wrong time? The lover girl in me wants to say yes. She wants to say yes, make it work at it. It might not be now, it might not be tomorrow, but it'll be soon. But the realist in me has to say no. Only because, and hear me out, I think if you love someone, and if they love you, y'all will work it out. You'll find a way to make it work. And I think I understand that things aren't in our control at the same time. But for me personally, when I love someone, when I want to be with someone, or even if I just like someone and I really want to work it out, nothing gets in the way of that. There are limits. There are boundaries. Of course, in any relationship, I don't fuck with cheating. I don't fuck with disrespect. And I don't do disloyalty or those petty accusation shits. No. There's a lot I don't deal with in relationships. That's the only time where I'm like, absolutely fucking not. I'm walking out. And we'll get into that. But I think when you are in love and when you like someone or when you want it to work out, nothing can truly get in the way. I understand sometimes you meet people at different times in your life, and you know, they may be building towards something, you're building towards something, and I get that. But I think if you both want to make it work, you can. I hate when people say you cannot, what is it? You cannot love someone until you love yourself. I understand where that comes from. However, I think sometimes loving someone teaches you how to love yourself. And I've learned that a lot since I would say since I turned 19. 18. I'm sorry. Since I was 18, I kind of realized what that was and how that works. And we'll go into that and the deeper questions about love and all that Nonsense. Why did my computer turn off? Oh, there it goes. We'll get into that. For now, I will say, yeah, I think I'm just a lover girl. I think I I'll work at it with you, and I'll be, we have to be 100%, right? But if you can't do 100, if you have to do 80 and I have to pick up that extra 20, I will pick up that extra 20. If you are at your rock bottom and you are struggling, I will pick up the pieces and make sure we are good and make sure you feel loved and encouraged. And that's just who I am. As long as you are still reciprocating, as long as when I also have my bad moments, because y'all know I do, diagnosed with depression here, but as long as when I'm down and you pick us up, we're good. I think you can work through anything. And I think that's just what I've always felt and how I've always thought. So those are some of the cliche love questions that I found and thought of. Now we're going to jump into the deeper questions about love and more so my experience with love. Love to me is both a feeling and a choice. Sometimes it's the most natural thing. Sometimes I just look at someone, friend included, and I'm like, I just love you. Like, you just get me. You understand. You're there for me, and I appreciate you, and I love you. But when you're going through rocky or rough waters, it becomes a choice, right? Are you going to keep going? Are you going to work back to that place where it just feels natural and happy and good? Or are you just going to walk away? Are you going to give up? And here's why I say that. When you like a person, when you want to be with somebody, when you love someone, you are choosing them. But you're not just choosing them. You're choosing every version of the person that they are going to become, that they are going to grow into, that they are going to grow out of. You're not falling in love with just the person that you met that first day. You're falling in love with everybody they're going to become and everybody they're going to turn into, and all the good and all the bad. And people change all the time. And I'm somebody who's so scared to change. Sometimes I'm comfortable in my chaos. It's something that I'm working hard at growing out of. But I think when you fall in love and when you want to be with somebody enough and you want to make it work, you do anything you can. You choose them. And I think that's a beautiful thing, to be chosen. I remember I was closing one night at work and my manager's phone was like buzzing off the hook or whatever, and I was like, oh my gosh, like Miss Popular. And she was like, oh, it's my husband, I feel horrible, like, I've been working late, and this was like 2 years ago. She was like, I've been working late every day, so I haven't had much time. And I just looked at her and I smiled and I was like, that's so beautiful. And she was like, what? And I said, how amazing is it that you are so loved that they just want you home. They just want to spend time with you, and they miss you so much. And that's truly beautiful. Like, he encourages you because he knows that you're working towards something at work, but he also wants you to know that, hey, I miss you and I just want to be with you. I just want to spend some time. So I think that's beautiful. And I think a lot of people need to kind of think about that in that way. Even through the arguments, because there are times where I feel like with friends or with somebody that I like, they take my communication as like a bad thing. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, like, I just don't want to talk about this. Like, I feel like, you're being dramatic. And I'm like, no, I want this to work. I want this to be good. And I hate being at odds with people that I care about so much. It truly does make me feel sick and horrible. And I'm working on stuff too, of course. You know, I didn't have a good example of love at first, and my first example of love were my parents, my mom's, both sets. And I'm not gonna lie, my parents were not in love. I'm sorry. It was one-sided at first. The first relationship that I witnessed was definitely one-sided. And there are reasons I say that. And I will say I'm going to respect the woman who gave birth to me here, because that's her story and it's fucked up to tell it. But I will say I did not have a good example about love. I'm not going to go into the gory details because that's me and that's her story. But I've watched a lot of love and it was just abuse. You know? And that's not even just talking about my parents. That's just the people that were around me growing up. You know, they call each other out their names. You know, they hit each other. They talk about each other behind their backs, or they allow people to talk about each other behind their backs. You know, like you walk out of a room and, oh, I hate Giselle. She's so ugly. She's so rude. She's a bitch. Oh, well, what does she do? I don't know. I just hate her. Like some of my friends have even come to me, oh, this person was talking shit about you. Why do they feel so comfortable talking shit about you? Now, there are two sides to that. Sometimes I'm like, you're making them feel too comfortable to talk shit about me to you. And that doesn't make me feel good. But there's also that kind of friendship where I'm like, okay, cool. What did they say? I know you had my back. But when it comes to me, I don't like that. I'm not going to sit there and let you talk crap about my people, my person. Especially like I'm talking to someone right now. And if somebody has something to say about them, I'm not really the type of person to... I don't like that. It's just weird. It's like, why are you trying so hard to convince me that... I don't know. I get it. Sometimes people are fucked up in life, but I think you also have to let people grow. It's like, I've definitely fucked up in life. I've been a bad friend at times. I've, you know, been fucked up to people. I've apologized from the bottom of my heart. You know, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have treated you like that. And I've grown a lot. I mean, hell, I'm only 23. We're all going to make mistakes. But I think allowing somebody to grow means if you're going to forgive them, you forgive them. You know? That doesn't mean that you can't never have those feelings of like, damn, you really did me dirty and all I've ever did was love you. I get that. I understand. I have those moments. But I think if you're going to let somebody grow, you're going to let go, you know? You're going to be like, you know what? You fucked me over. And it hurts, but I want to see you do your best and I want to be a part of that. And you're going to live by that. Now, if you don't like them, you don't fucking like them. Why you have to prove it to me that you don't like them? I don't know. I don't care. And there's a lot of people who have been like, oh, I don't want to change your perception of this person or that person. Truly, and I mean this, unless they are doing some fucked shit, and y'all know what I mean, like the most obvious heinous acts you can do to anybody, then yes, I'm obviously going to be like, absolutely not. We're done. But I to this day get told that certain pieces of my family, certain people in my family are still talking shit about me, making up their own stories, you know, trying to insert themselves in drama that has nothing to do with them really, because there's really no drama anymore. I just cut people off. That's it. And it sucks because it's like, I can't defend my name. At the end of the day, that's all I have, but I'm not going to sit here and try to debunk everything that they come up with. It's just exhausting. So I think for me, it's like, I'm going to let this person prove to me that they are different. I'm going to let them prove their character. Because, yes, I get it. Y'all went through something, but you're still here. You're still, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard. But back to my first examples of love. My parents, right? I used to be afraid of love because what if the person I chose was unkind to me, or worse, unkind to my kids, you know? That's something that I had to go through as a child. What if my son or my daughter, or my kids in general, are watching, and they're like, "Oh, that's what love is." Okay. And then they bring home their spouse, and their spouse is just blatantly disrespectful to them. I'll be damned. Mm-mm. I'm not going to be an example of abuse confused with love for my children. Never. And I think that was something that there's a lot of lessons I've learned in love. A lot of good lessons, a lot of hard lessons. Some of the hard ones have really knocked me out, and I'm glad I bounced back from it. But one of the hard lessons was knowing when somebody is taking advantage of your love, of you being in love with them. A person who loves you is a person who respects you and considers you, and there's a lot that goes into that. I don't want to have a relationship where I get called out my name, or when we're arguing, you're yelling and I'm just trying to talk. Like, I'm just trying to come to you and say, "Hey, this is how I'm feeling. Can we talk it through, and can we get through this?" I don't want to look at you and you're just going off on me. I don't want to be given the silent treatment. I've been given the silent treatment a lot in my life. And sometimes I will say, not on purpose, I'm not like, "Oh, I'm not going to talk to you." I'm more like, I don't want to bother you. So I'm just going to do my own thing, and I will get back to you when I'm in a better headspace, because right now my headspace is fucked up and I don't want to bring that to you. I'm definitely a person who thinks everything I do is a burden. And that's something that, again, I'm working to stop believing in, because that's not fair to myself. I think I deserve love. I'm worthy of love. And, I have feelings. So, yeah, that was a hard lesson. Knowing that somebody is taking advantage of you and your kindness. I think at first, I was like, "Oh, like, they love me too. Like, this is so cool. This must be what love looks like." Like, okay. And then it was like, "Oh, you love me, but you don't want to be with me, but you want me." Ew. Sorry. And that's something that I hate, that I allowed myself to confuse about love. Because I just wanted to be loved, and I wanted to be cared for. And I confused lust with love. I'm laughing, but of course my feelings are hurt. Anyway. Sorry. Oh. Anyway. And that was something that I lived in for a while, And I don't ever regret giving love to somebody because they needed it. And yeah, it sucks that they had to get it from me, but why would I regret a situation where I was always honest, I was always true, I was always loving and caring and encouraging and supportive? Like, I didn't do anything wrong, and I know that for sure. Like, I didn't lie to you. I was honest. You lied to me, and you took advantage of me. But love did teach me a lot about myself. I was always scared that I wasn't worthy of love, or, I would never find love, and I would never, somebody would never fall in love with me. But I think, like I said, I don't know if I think I said it earlier, I believe in love because of how I love. I believe love can be good and beautiful because I am good and beautiful to the people that I love. I mean, there are times where I I'm not the best friend. I'm not the best in that moment. I'm probably a little bit selfish, and I am more focused on me at times, and I self-isolate, and I have things I have to work on. But I am attentive. I am supportive. I'm authentic. I am willing to put in the work. I think that if my friends or the person I want to be with comes to me and says, hey, the other day you and I were having a discussion and it turned into an argument and you called me this, I don't appreciate that. I deserve an apology because I would never do that to you. I would immediately work on the behavior. I would immediately, or even if they're like, your vibe was off and you kind of snapped at me when I didn't do anything to you. If I've ever done that, I've always listened. I apologize, because even if I'm like, no, I didn't. No, I still made them feel that way. Even if that was not my intention, that was the action. That was how they felt. And I always apologize, because that's the bare fucking minimum. Only thing I have to do now is change the behavior. Like, it's not hard to love someone correctly. It's just not. And I think that's the disconnect. I love how I love because there's nothing hard about it. Just be genuine. Just be real. If you don't think the friendship's working out, you don't think the friendship's working out. If you don't want to communicate and be in this with me, you don't want to communicate and be in this with me. But just be real about it. Anyway, I love to love on my partner. Oh my gosh. When I think you can very much tell when I love someone. I'm so obvious. When I love someone, I love to just learn everything about them. I want to know them. I want to be around them. I understand we have individual lives, and I get that, but I just want them. I just want to know that you're good and be there with you when you're not good and when you are good. And I just want to love you, and I want to watch you grow and become everything you want to become, everything you're scared of going and risking for. I want to watch you, find your dreams and make them come true, accomplish your goals and find new ones. And I love spoiling the person I'm with when I have the money for it. I think that's something very important I have to learn. Reciprocation. I'm gonna keep saying that because I deserve it. I love. I love. So, yeah. I think that's something that I learned about love. How I show my person, I'm there for them, and how that's important to me to not only be there for them, have them be there for me, of course, but to make sure that we're, at the end of the day, we're good, and that they feel tended to, and that I'm present and there, and that they know they're loved and cared for. And I think that's something that everybody should be obsessed with when it comes to their partner, is if the thought of them going through it doesn't hurt you, I don't think you love that person. And I don't think you're in love. For me, the thought of my person crying or having a bad day or getting hurt and I can't help, it makes me sick to my stomach, So yeah, that's some of the stuff I learned about myself. There's so much I could say of what I learned about the way I love, and we'll go into it, probably. When did love first disappoint me? Let's kick it back to 2024. So 2024, I think I talked a little bit about it. I was in love with somebody for 5 years, and it didn't work out. And it wasn't the fact that it didn't work out that bothered me. It was the disrespect that came afterwards. This was a person that I was there for them through quite literally thick and thin. They were there for me too through thick and thin. There were times where I was treated very poorly. I'm sure I made my mistakes too. But the end part, treating me as though I wasn't even a person, that's what just reaffirmed the belief that I had that I was not worthy of love. And I think the way that they went about it was very disrespectful, and I will always say that. The way that they just disrespected me completely, I get it. You know, they started a relationship with a new person. That was never my issue. My issue is the timeline that they did it. You know, 5 days before they started a relationship with a new person, we had been intimate, and that fucking sucked. I was like, you've known everything about me, you know everything that I've been through, everything that I experienced, how I feel about my body, and how guarded I am with things like that, and my sexuality. Yes, when I am with somebody, I'm a very driven person in that way. I love to be intimate with my partner. That's just truth. I'm an adult. sorry if you're family that's known me since I was a kid, but that's true. Anyway, but I'm very guarded about my body. I get checked every 6 months. Even if I have not been active, I just get checked for STDs and stuff like that. Because you just never know. Like, it freaks me out. Like, I don't want to put somebody else in harm's way. I don't want to be put in harm's way. So, the blatant disrespect and the lack of understanding, and it was very hot and cold. I think we were trying to be friends, but my kindness was taken advantage of a lot. And, it was hard because like I said, they were all I knew. You know, that was my first true example of my love. You know, the way, 5 years. And I think it was just a different type of world that ended. I'm not going to say I'm not glad it ended. I think we both needed to get out of it because it was just one big toxic cycle, and I'm happy where I am now. I think it's just the way that everything played out was horrible. And it really did, like I said, it really did just make me be like, damn, I was never worthy of love. Why did I even try? You know, why did I even believe that for a second I could be, you know? Ow, sorry. So yeah, that was kind of hard. That kind of sucked a little bit. But I don't know. I know I'm worthy of love, and I wish I had known that earlier. Maybe I would have left sooner. Maybe I would have been the one that was like, you know what? This isn't working out. Because there were times where in that situation it was like, oh, I love you, but I don't want to be with you. I'm not ready for commitment, but I love you. I want you. You know, you're the person I want. I want to marry you. I want this. I want that. When we have kids, when we get married. But it was very like, you're pressuring me. I don't want to be with you. Like, no, we shouldn't do this anymore. And then right back into it. And I'm not saying that I'm completely innocent, because there are times where I could have easily been like, you know what, this is not how I deserve to be treated. This is not how you love someone. But I thought, you know, this is the best I'm ever going to get. I mean, this is the best I've ever had. And that's just not true. That's just something it's so sad that I felt like I had to go through that I deserved that in a way, because I didn't. I deserve love. I never should have felt like I was having to prove I was worthy of love. I think that's so sucky. You know, jumping through hoops and everything. So yeah, you know, love is supposed to be gentle and kind, even in the hardest moments, and that's something I wish I had known sooner. Yes, you're gonna have hard moments, but in those hard moments, really watch for how the other person reacts and how you react. Of course, this isn't just one-sided. It takes two people to fuck up a relationship. But I always try to make it very apparent to the person I'm interested in or with. Like, if I'm with somebody and I have an issue, I'm like, I just want to work this out. I just want us to be good because right now you are all I care about. Like, that's just who I am naturally. Like, I don't like to go to bed mad. I don't like to have that silence where it's like, are we good? Are we mad? Like, you're acting like things are normal, but I still feel this way. You didn't respond to it. I can't do it. I can't. Ooh. Anyway, so that's something I wish I'd learned about love sooner. It should be kind and gentle and, you know, something that both of you are happy in. I think because I was giving that person what they wanted, which was just my body, I think that they were happy with just that until they wanted more, and that's fine. I just wish that there just was no need to lie about it. So, you know, but they're living their lives. This is not to start any drama. I'm not name dropping. I'm not doing that because that's just not me. They're living their lives. I'm living mine. We're we're two different people. Strangers. Anyway. Now, with that heartbreak, I think you guys... Hold on, let me adjust my seat. Now, with that heartbreak, you might ask yourself, how did Giselle cope? Nobody has that. Anyway, I didn't. I really did not cope with that heartbreak. I gave up on myself. My depression hit harder than ever. Sort of harder than ever. And I literally just gave up. I was still washing my hair. I was still brushing my teeth. I was still getting up and going to work. But I wasn't taking care of myself. I was eating poorly. I was not doing any of the hobbies that I've always done, or, you know, I was washing my hair, but was I really taking care of it? Not really. I was brushing my teeth, but I wasn't really flossing. I didn't do no mouthwash. I wasn't really brushing as many times as I normally do in a day. I wasn't doing any of my skin routine. I was eating trash, and I was just bed rotting whenever I wasn't at work, or, you know, pretending that everything was fine. And eventually, I've talked about this before, I was given very tough love. And it snapped me back into a new reality and a new purpose. Let's talk about it. So, I was at work, and I was watching a video that I made, because some of you know, I love to do angel trees during Christmas and the holiday season. It's one of my favorite things to do. I really do appreciate it, and the purpose of it. But I was looking at the video, and in the video, you can see that my teeth... I never posted it because I was so embarrassed and insecure. You can see my teeth are yellow. Like, way yellow. And my skin looked rough, and I just remember, like, feeling down, and I was so sad about it because I was like, oh, I'm so ugly. Like, why do I look like this? And I told my manager, and I said, you know, my teeth are yellow, my skin is rough. I don't know what's going on with me. Like, my hair is dead, and I gained weight. Like, I don't know what's happening. I'm really sad. She looked at me, and she just went, I want you to be honest with me. You're not taking care of yourself, are you? And I just started crying. Because I wasn't. I gave up on myself. And, I think I needed to hear that. I needed to hear somebody put it in that way. Because I just felt like I wasn't worth taking care of, and I wasn't worth fighting for. And, oh God, I was so wrong. Because in 2025, I literally, like I said, I found, that was December 2024 that we had that conversation. In 2025, I promised that I was going to just become an entirely new version of myself. And I did. I started taking care of myself. I started washing and taking care of my hair again. She looked good. I started working out, eating better. Do I still eat junk food? Yes, of course. But I started loving myself, and I think that that's something that I needed. And I'm always going to appreciate my manager for that. And it was a conversation we had, and she was like, we fought so hard to get you out of these dark moments, and you need to keep fighting, and you need to not give up on yourself. And I needed to hear that. I needed somebody to snap that back. Does that make sense? Snap that back. Snap me back into reality. And yeah. So I didn't cope with heartbreak. I didn't have a post-heartbreak glow up. I had a glow down, okay? When I started my gym journey, I was 169. I'm now 143. I mean, she looked good. She still got a little chunk, but I'm learning to love myself, you know? And that's something that I also learned about love, which I kind of I didn't talk about this earlier, but I should have. Love is supposed to be kind and gentle, yes. But loving yourself is a part of love. Whether it's platonic, whether it's romantic, you need to always love yourself. Just saying. So, yeah. I think the best advice I could give about that for kind of snapping back after a heartbreak is allow yourself to feel what you need to feel. I think I was very healthy in doing that. A little too healthy. But I think you also need to remember the world continues. It's just a little different now, you know? And if anybody is going to love you, it has to be you. It has to be you. You have to learn how to love yourself completely. And am I there yet? No, I'm still a little insecure. There's still things that I don't like about myself that I'm working through. There's still things that I need to work on, but I'm working on it, and that is what I need to be doing. So yeah, I didn't cope with the heartbreak. I didn't just get over it and oh my gosh, oh well, I was still down. I was completely down, actually. So yeah. Anyway, now for the where am I now question section. How has my definition of love changed? Like I said earlier, I thought love was something to be scared of. I thought that love was toxic cycles, abusive. I thought it was something I never wanted. And even if I wanted it, it was unattainable. Is that how you say it? I think it is. I didn't want anything to do with it because it was scary. Because it was ugly and toxic and I didn't want any part of it. It was terrifying, right? But I know that beautiful love exists. I know that good, true people and love exists because of how I love. Because of who I am as a person and how I fight for my people and how loyal I am and how sweet I can be with my person and genuine I am with my person. And after everything, I was sort of afraid to love fully again. And I think that's because the risk of giving my heart to someone, it freaks me out. It makes me nervous. But if I'm being honest, I'm not gonna purposely punish someone because of a dumbass who didn't know how to love me. You know, I'm not gonna be like, oh, There are times where I catch myself, and I'm like, oh, damn, I fucked up. Like I blamed this on you, and it wasn't even a you thing. It was a me thing, and I'm sorry, and I'm gonna be honest. I have those moments, yes, but I'm not gonna purposely be like, where are you going? Where have you been? Let me see your phone. No, 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 no. Like, I want to be able to trust you. I want to be able to have that trust. I don't trust easily, but I think love is still the greatest risk I've ever made. You know, you never know how it's going to turn out, but I hope that it turns out beautiful, and I hope that I find a love that is sweet and genuine, and yeah, I don't want to take it out on somebody who had nothing to do with how somebody in my past treated me, It's not their fault. They didn't do anything, and I hope that my person doesn't treat me like that, because a person fucked them over. I hope they're not holding it against me. I don't think that's healthy at all. I think if somebody hurt you and you can't get over it, and you find yourself taking it out on somebody else, on your new person, on something that you know is good and you know is what you want, why would you put a blame on them when they haven't done anything? They didn't fuck you over. They've given you no reason to not trust them. You're just being insecure, and you're just being toxic, and that's something that we all have to work on, I think. So yeah, and even, like I said, even after the heartbreak, even after everything I've been through in my life and my whole life story, I'm still a lover girl. I just think love is such a beautiful thing I think love is a beautiful thing worth taking a risk for. I think that I love how I love my person when I am in love, and when I like someone, I may be afraid, but someone will come along and love me in the ways that I want, and love me in the ways that I never even knew I needed. I think that's just how love is. Sometimes you're like, this is what I want, just this thing. I don't care what, I just want this. But then somebody comes in and you're like, oh, actually, I like that. I didn't know that I needed that, but now that I have it, it's so good, and I love how you love me, And there's very few things I want out of love, to be honest with you. It's just the most bare minimum shit, and we'll get into that too. But I think for me, from love, from the person who loves me, reciprocity, respect, honesty, transparency, loyalty, consideration, effort, understanding, passion, and kindness. It's not hard to love someone and be authentic and true, but that is what I want. Reciprocity, yes, how I love you might not be how you want to love me, that's fine. But as long as you're loving me and I feel loved, we're good. But if I'm giving all this effort, if I'm doing all these things, and you're just not giving any energy, you're just being lazy about it, why are we together? Why are we, why am I doing all this? Okay, respect. Are you respecting my name not only in front of me, but behind my back? Or are you telling your friends one thing, but then when you're around me, it's a completely different story? Are you defending my name? Or are you allowing my name to be disrespected in front of you? Honesty, transparency, those go hand in hand. I don't want to find out from other people the shit that you be doing or the shit that you've done. You should tell me. You should be honest and transparent with me. I fucked up. Is it gonna be, a situation where I might not see you the same? Yeah, but you're worried about the wrong thing. I feel like if you love me, you want to be honest with me. Now, that doesn't mean that if you cheat on somebody, go, tell them every time you fucking cheat. Stop fucking cheating. That's why loyalty is on there. But You shouldn't even cheat on your partner in the first place. But what I'm saying is, if you fucked up and you did something, and I have to hear it from somebody else that you did something, that's going to make me feel even more disrespect for you. From you. For you and from you. Because I'm going to be like, damn, I don't respect you anymore. And I don't feel like you ever respected me at this point. So yeah. Loyalty. It's not hard to be loyal. It's really not. I hate people. Anyway. Consideration. I know Giselle does not like when I do this. I know Giselle is, me and Giselle are mad at each other. And I know she hates when I am silent and I don't respond to her. But because I'm mad at her, I'm going to do it anyway. That is not considering your partner. Huh. I know Giselle likes Mountain Dew and I'm getting me a drink, so let me go ahead and get her one. Consideration. I know Giselle has told me she really wants flowers for her birthday, so I'm going to get her flowers. Consideration. That goes both, these things go both ways, by the way. This is what I want out of love, and this is what I need from the person who loves me, and this is what I want to give to the person that I love. Effort, I went over in reciprocity. Why am I putting in effort? Again, if you cannot put in effort and you are having a bad situation, I will pick up the pieces. I will pick up the slack. But communicate that with me. Be honest with me. Transparent with me. I just don't have the energy to love you extra right now. I need to be loved extra right now. Tell me that. And I promise you I will break my back to make you feel loved. That sounded so gay. That sounded so... Anyway. Understanding. I've been through a lot in my life. You've been through a lot in your life. I am the way I am because of what I've been through and I'm working on it. You are the way you are because you've been through what you've been through and you're working on it. But we need to understand each other. And if that means you need silence, you let me know. Hey, I need 30 minutes where I can just regulate myself, take time, think about things, process, and then I will come back and we'll talk. If I need a conversation, that's all I need is for you to tell me how much time you need, really. And I'll be like, okay, 30 minutes. Cool. I'll be back in 30 minutes. So yeah, understanding. Are we on the same page? Are we on the same, it's just, I just want to be understood. I just want to be seen. Passion and kindness. I don't want to ever stop being in love with my partner. I hate when people are like, yeah, he used to buy me flowers. Yeah, we used to flirt a lot. Yeah, we used to do this, but we don't do it no more. That makes me so sad. Because it's like, I want to forever be in love with my partner. I want us to always flirt. I want us to always, be obsessed with each other. Yes, we're going to go through those rocky times, but I want us to always find comfort in each other. I don't want to get to a time where it's like we don't have one-on-one time. We don't flirt with each other. We don't do those stupid little things we used to do when we first started dating, I want to always have that with my person. So, passion. Also, passion for not only each other, but our individual selves. I'm not asking to be your main priority. I'm not asking to be the biggest priority. I do need to be a priority, though. I need to feel loved. I need to feel wanted and cared for. I understand that people are working towards things. I understand that you want to get towards a place in your life. I want to be there with you. I want to hold your hand through it. I want to hold you when you are having your hard days. I want to be by your side when you're having your great days. I can't be with somebody who isn't passionate about something. I want us to be... I hate when people say oh, they're my other half. Why are we half of a person? Why are we not whole individuals? I'm working towards something. So my partner is going to have to be understanding about that. Because there are times where I'm going to have to be, doing my own thing. But I'm still going to make sure that yes, I'm passionate about this, but I'm also passionate about you. You are what I want. And you are the reason I'm working towards this. You know what I mean? Kindness. Even in bad times. Are we being kind to each other? Are we loving each other? Or are we just lashing out and being abusive and toxic to each other? I can't do it. I'm not doing it. No. I don't do that. at all. I don't cuss at you. You don't cuss at me. I don't cuss you out in general. Now, if we're joking and we're playing around, I get that. Because I do that a lot. Where, like, my friends will call me and be like, hey, bitch, how you doing? Like, that's fine. But if we're in an argument and you're calling me a bitch, yeah, that's a problem. Anyway, so that leads me into, am I in love right now? The short answer is no. I do really like someone, and I do care about them very deeply. I have love for them. I haven't said I love you yet, because I'm not, like, there. It's more of like, aw, I really like you, and I hope that you get everything you want, and I hope that this works out, and I want to be with you, and yeah, I do like them a lot, and I care about them very deeply, and I try my best to remember that this person is not them. They are their own person, and I think that's because I'm very quick to guard my heart, but how can I protect myself from the possibility of being hurt without closing off to new experiences completely, you know? I'm gonna remember this person is not them. This person is not who I've dealt with. They are new. I will still stand up for myself if needed, which, you know. But again, I am not going to punish this person, for the mistakes that someone else has made. I'm not going to, where have you been? Turn your location on. Like, I view location setting as a safety thing. I'll send my location to my friends or to this person if I'm like, I don't feel the safest where I'm going right now. Or like, you know, if I'm in a lift, I'll send my location to this person. But I'm not going to be like, where are you at? Turn your location on right now. You know, send me a picture of you with the silver spoon in the... Like, I don't need to do that. I'm good. I'm not going to do that. Because then that makes them feel like, damn, like, I didn't even do anything. Like, fuck. I'll have my moments where I'm like, I didn't like that. No. So, yeah. But I put communication over everything. You know? I'm very, very, very communicative. Probably too much. But that's just because I hate being at odds with the person that I value the most in the world as of right now, other than myself. It's fine. So yeah, I'm not gonna punish them for mistakes that somebody else made. I don't think they should punish me either. So now we're wrapping it up, coming to a close with our fun love questions. These are more so questions about, like, I don't know, random questions I found. Anyway, what is my ideal date? Normally, anything I do with my person is a good date. I don't really know, but if I was asked out on a date and, you know, they were like, what do you want to do? Like, let's go on something special or, you know, whatever. I've always wanted to go, like, to a fair with my partner or, like, to an amusement park of some sort. I kind of like the idea of that, like, getting cute pictures and, like, I don't know, just, I don't know, I think it's cute. Yeah, I just love spending quality time with my person, any way that is, to be honest with you. Another question is, what are your love languages? From me to my person, gift giving. I love to give gifts. Words of affirmation and physical touch. Now hear me out. I always say I hate being touched, but I really like this person. So I just really want to, you know, have that physical affection. I want to hug them all the time, kiss them all the time. And that's just how it is. Words of affirmation. I love telling my partner how special they are to me, how cared they are, how much I support them, how handsome they are, and, you know, all that kind of stuff, cute and everything. I'll send a lot of reels on Instagram, you know, a lot of flirty reels, but also a lot of reels that are like, you're so special and I hope you know you're cared for. So that's from me. Now, to me, how I like to be loved. Words of affirmation, definitely. I love being called beautiful, gorgeous, cute, all those kind of things. Being told how, you know, if they go on their own accord and watch my stuff and they tell me that they, like this part or that part or whatever, or if they support me and they're verbal about it, I really like that. I like those kind of things because it's like, I've always been hidden, I've always been a secret. I don't want to be a secret anymore. Ew. Gross. Or like, I don't know if it's just me, but we're in a day and age of social media, right? So obviously my person follows, I think, all my socials. TikTok, Instagram, and I think that's it. I mean, yeah. I mean, I have Snapchat. I don't use it. It's more so to take videos and stuff, but anything that shows like, this person liked your content or this person did this or commented or like whatever, I'm like, ooh. View your profile. I'm like, hey, how you doing, baby? I love that. Like, it's just something that's so nice. Or like, liked your story. I think I've told this person like, oh, so do you hate me because you didn't like my story? And they were like, no. But it's just like a little playful banter like that. So, words of affirmation. I like, yeah, I just like being told like, oh, you're sexy, or oh, you're cute, or you're really hot. Like, just things like that. Like, it's just nice. And then, or like, I missed you, or like, just things like that. So, physical affection has become a big one. I think when because I really like this person and because this person is so special to me, I just want to be around them and just I just want to be all over them and I want them to be all over me and yeah. Anyway, before I and sometimes gift giving. I have to learn how to accept gifts because I'm not the greatest at accepting gifts. I love to get gifts sometimes because it's like, you thought about me, like, aw. But it's awkward because I'm used to spoiling. So, anyway, what do I find attractive in a person? Goofiness, playful. I need somebody who loves to have fun and all that kind of thing. I love somebody who's not afraid to show they are into me in front of people. Like I said, I've always been hidden, and I want to feel like you're proud to be with me. Patience. I think somebody who understands where I'm coming from and why I express myself the way I do, and they're gentle with me in the moments where I'm not feeling too good about something. I think that speaks a lot to me. Yeah. So those are some of the things. I love somebody who's goofy though. Like, just silly and can make me laugh. That's like the biggest turn on for me. But also like somebody who knows like, okay, Giselle's being serious in this moment. Let me be serious with her and have this conversation because she needs reassurance. That's something that's really does speak a lot to me. Is can you, yes, we can be goofy and play and have fun, but in the moment where I need you to be a little more serious, can you handle that? So yeah. And also just really remembering the little things as much as the big things. That's a small gesture that truly makes me feel loved. Like, if I mention something once and somebody's like, oh, I got this for you because you said that, you liked it, but you couldn't find it, and I found it. I adore that. I love that. As much as the big things, If I'm like, oh, this really hurt my feelings because I was really looking forward to this, and then they just pop up and are like, hey, I know that this kind of made your day bad, but I did this and I hope it makes your day better. It, oh my God, it completely makes me feel so loved and cared for. So yeah, remembering the little things as much as the big things, but also keeping a focus on those big things. A question I have right here is, what are your favorite love songs? These are not in order, but these are 10 love songs that I am obsessed with. So the first one is You Make Me Feel So Young by Frank Sinatra. I adore that song so much. It's in Elf, the Christmas movie. And I've loved it since I've heard it in Elf. So that one's a good one. I Just Called to Say I Love You by Stevie Wonder. I think that's just, it's such a nice thought just to call someone on a random day, no special, nothing special is going on, but you're like, I just had to tell you. Like, I just wanted you to hear it, and I just wanted to say it. So yeah. Never Knew Love Like This, Stephanie Mills. I've heard it before when I was a kid, but I really started paying attention to it when I watched Pose. And if you know, when Candy died. I loved that scene. Not her dying, the scene with the song in it. Because she's doing like a lip sync thing. So yeah. You and I by Victor Ray. It's a new one that I've kind of gotten into. I just like what he says, because there's one line where he says, like, if the world turns itself back into dust, every road is gonna lead back to us or something, or if this is the end, I'd learn to stay forever. And I think that's something that I've been kind of focusing on. Like, things are gonna be hard. Things are gonna always work out how you want them to work out, but they're gonna work out and they're gonna be fine as long as you're willing to put in the work. Number 5, La La Means I Love You, the Delphonics. That one is so good, because it's like, how does it go? If I ever met a girl if I ever met a girl that I needed in this world, something like that, you are the one for me. Love that line. Earth Angel by the Penguins. I just love that song. I just love all these songs. Always and Forever, Heat Wave. That's a classic. All of these are classics. Like, I'm very into oldies. So, Back at One, Brian McKnight. Because that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, you want to always be in love with your partner. You want to always have that passion. And I think that song kind of really describes that. So, that one, Never Knew I Needed, Neo. That one has had my heart since I've heard it. I love it so much, because it's like I said, sometimes somebody will love you in ways you didn't know you needed, and that is so special. And then the last one, number 10, is Stuck With You, Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber. I really do love that song. It's really cute. I think it's adorable. There's probably other love songs that I couldn't think of in the moment, so these are the top 10 for me right now. So next we're gonna go into some of my hot takes on relationships. Sometimes you have to teach someone how to love you. Sometimes you have to be taught. Let me explain. A lot of my friends will tell me, I just wish he got me flowers. I don't want to have to ask for flowers. And I'm like, well, have you ever mentioned flowers? Well, no. Okay, so then how does he know that you want flowers? As somebody who's not used to being completely spoiled or being given gifts so much by somebody that they're with, I will say, with the person I'm interested in now, there are times where I'll send them a reel or a photo of something, or I'll be like, oh my god, babe, like, for example, Lego is coming out with a sunflower bouquet set. I just wanted to show him because he loves Lego as well. We've talked about Legos. So I was like, oh my god, baby, look, like, I love sunflowers, and like, they're coming out with a sunflower set. This is so great. I had no intention of being like, so you're gonna buy it for me? Like, that's just not who I am. But he was like, do you want that? And I kind of didn't see it for what it was, but now I'm thinking, well, after a while, I was like, wait, no. I did not mean it that way. I just wanted to show him. But I was like, yes, sunflowers are my favorite. Like, I love sunflowers. So I think you kind of have to point it out to your partner sometimes and be like, hey, I would really, really love for you to buy me flowers. I would really love for you to, you know, take me to this place that I've been mentioning. You know, sometimes, unfortunately, men are a little slow. But I think another thing is you have to be taught, you know? There's some things that I have to get better at, and there's some things I have to work on. And if my partner ever comes to me and is like, hey, you know, you used to do this for me, but you haven't really done it in a while, and I really liked when you did that, you know, it made me feel special, you know, sometimes you have to be taught. That being said, like I said in my first episode of this season, people treat you how they want to treat you. So if your partner is being very obvious that they just don't want to do that, that's where you got to think, well, is this a deal breaker, or is this something that I can just let go of? If you can't let go of it, you can't let go of it. Maybe that's just not the right person for you. Number 2, can we normalize appreciating the bare minimum? Some of us have never fucking gotten that, okay? I got excited about something that the person I'm interested in did for me, and my friend said that is the bare minimum. Okay, so, like, girl, I've never been given this part of the bare minimum. Let me have it. Fuck. Like, you know, sometimes, maybe that's probably another thing that bothers me is, I think when people don't appreciate the bare minimum, in my mind, it's like, well, maybe that's why they don't want to do anything extravagant, because to them that is the bare minimum. But then it's also like, no, because some people say like, oh, that's just too much. I don't want to do that because it's extra. Like, bro, if you're not putting love into your partner, if you're not pouring into your partner, how do you expect them to feel love? Anyway, but yeah, normalize appreciating the bare minimum as well as the bigger things. Because, the fuck? My man can breathe my way and I'd be like, stop! No, I'm playing. That's a joke. That is a joke. But honestly, sometimes you have to appreciate the small things as much as the big things. The third one, cheating. Number 3, cheating is to blame on your partner, not on the person they cheated with. Oh, but she knew he was in a relationship. Okay, but is she in the relationship? No? Oh, okay. Now, here's the thing. I know this is going to get a lot of heat probably, because a lot of my friends are like, absolutely not. She knew he was in a relationship. That's disrespectful as hell. It is, 100%. And if you want to go for it and fight that girl, fight that girl. But if you're just going to stay with the guy that cheated on you, I don't want to hear about it. Because frankly, I don't have the capacity to understand that. How are you going to be mad at her, but not mad at him? That is a grown man. That's a grown woman. If you're dating a girl, if you're dating a guy, if you're dating a non-binary, that is a grown person. They know your boundaries. They know loyalty. They just chose not to do it. And if you are going to be mad at the person they cheated with, but not be mad at them, you lost your argument there for me, girl. Can't help you there. Because for me, it's like, I have an issue with my spouse. Yes, I get it. It's disrespectful as fuck. I don't fuck with cheaters. Whether my friends have cheated on their spouse, I don't fuck with it. Whether my friends have been cheated on, I hate that person that cheated on them. And I do hate the person that they cheated with. But I don't know. It's like, why are we putting blame on only that person? Unfortunately, as sucky as it sounds, they're single. They can do whatever they want. Is it morally wrong? Yes. But fuck, they're looking at themselves in the mirror at the end of the day and they're liking what they see, so clearly they don't give a fuck. Me, personally, could never. I can never cheat on my spouse. I can never watch or see someone be cheated on and be okay with that and look at myself and be like, yeah, I'm still cool. I'm still a good person. But that's me. I know that I can't live with that. So that's why I don't do it. And I just can't. I can't fuck with that. That's just too much. I don't know how you can do that. But yes, cheating is to blame on your partner, not on the person, not just, let me say that, not just on the person that your partner cheated with. Both are to blame. Anyway, last question of this episode. As a certified lover girl, what are some love experiences you want to have? Slow dancing in the rain. I've seen that a lot on TikTok, and I think that's so cute. But yeah, slow dancing specifically, and then slow dancing in the rain. Receiving flowers. I've never been given flowers. Receiving flowers. Christmas gift exchange. I really love the idea of, like, you know, making it a special thing where, like, you guys are giving each other gifts and it's just so nice. And yeah, I think that's really nice. Being asked to be a girlfriend in a special way. I've never had that experience because I've never been a girlfriend. That's so sad to say, but it is what it is. I've never been a girlfriend, so I've never been asked in a special way or, like, you know, anything like that. And I see all these things on TikTok where, like, you know, the flower bouquets where it says, like, will you be my girlfriend? Or, like, you know, the guys open up their trunks and it says, like, will you be my girlfriend? Or can I be your boyfriend? Or those things. I think those are so nice. Especially can I be your boyfriend ones. I'm like, yeah, you can be my boyfriend. I can be your girlfriend. I think that's so cute. And I think that's special. But I hope I get to experience that. Going on a trip together. I think that would be so cool to, like, get away and, like, go somewhere nice and take so many photos and have these experiences with your partner. Of course, there's so many other things that I want to experience from love. Obviously, there's the most obvious ones, getting married, having a wedding, a reception, having kids, and, you know, that whole thing. But those are some of the experiences that I can't wait to have. And the rest will come later. But yeah, that is all for my certified lover girl episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that, you know, if you are in love or if you like someone or whatever, I hope that your Valentine's Day is special. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Remember to eat your food, drink your water, celebrate love, and love yourself most of all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, stay dysfunctional. Otherwise, there's really no use for me. Alright, I love you. Bye! Mwah.
I really like what you've done to me. I can't really explain it.